everyone, welcome back to the homestead. Today I'm going to show you how we do our sap boiling. It's like the last day. I'm finally getting this video done. We are finishing off the last of our sap, but I wanted to make sure I made this video so that you could see what our process is to boil sap and finish off our maple syrup. All right, here we go. We're gonna go into the sugar shack. So I'm taking you into the sugar shack. It's a little windy. Get better here in a minute. This is actually a dual purpose structure here. This is our greenhouse as well as our sugar shack. Right now it's clearly just being used for boiling sap. And what we have here is a barrel that my husband has converted into a cooker, and what he bought one of this door thing, and I think that's all it was the door that you can buy, and I can try to link it below if he can tell me where he got it from, but and then he just, I don't know, he did what he did, cut it out and welded that on or something like that, I'm not really sure, and then he cut two holes. It's hard to show you, but cut two holes in the top, and these are pans from like a buffet. Yeah, they're buffet pans, that's the word. And that's what we use to boil our sap in. So the process here is we put the sap into this pot on top here, and what that does is then it slowly trickles out. Here, this one's kind of probably got something plugged up. It's a little bit slow. And we got this one going here too. That warms up the sap in that pot there, so it's not completely cold going in. Not that that's terrible, but it just makes it a little more efficient. And then it just boils. We go out here, occasionally and check it. And we have a strainer that we take and we strain off the foam that comes up to the top. Just strain it off here, just like that. Of course, make sure it's a metal strainer because this is extremely hot. And then we just, we sit out, come out every once in a while, check the fire, make sure it's not boiling over. This is what happens when it boils over. And it smells like marshmallows when it does that, but it's not a good thing because that's just waste. And then we got the fire going. This piece is a little bit too big for it, but we have found that small pieces of wood work best, like your limb wood, not big chunks of wood. Those just don't burn hot enough unless you have a certain type of tree that does burn really hot. You just want wood that burns very, very hot. You have to constantly be feeding it, but that way it's more efficient. Otherwise it takes just forever. So this front one always burns boils cooler. It doesn't really, it's just not as hot as the back one. Clearly, if you can see here, this one is much, much hotter. So what we do is we will take sap from this one and we'll put it back here because this one will fill up faster. It's not boiling as hard. And this one, it already needs me to transfer some sap over. It's boiling pretty good right now. Actually, this sap is pretty close to being done. And what I do, so I just take this. This is an old measuring cup that all the numbers have pretty much already come off from canning. And because if you use a glass measuring cup or anything like this with the the writing on there, the numbers, they will come off when exposed to high heat like this, continuously. So I just do that occasionally when needed. And once the sap is at 215 degrees, then I take it in the house. And I just use a digital thermometer, an instant read thermometer, and I will take it in the house, and that's when I will boil it, finish it off in the house so I have a little bit more control. And here is some that is ready to go into the house. We do strain it once out here before. This is dirty because we just strained. Usually we use a clean cloth, a clean This is just a tea towel, or a flour sack towel, I mean. And it's over a strainer, so we'll strain it once. So this, you can see, a lot of stuff comes off. It's hard because, well, it's cooled and it's, you know, sugar. So, but this shows there's a lot of, you know, just debris and stuff like that that's in there, mainly from the smoke and whatnot that gets into the sap. And then I also strain it again once it has become syrup in the house. Before I bottle it, I strain it one more time. So it's very good to have two people when you are straining. Otherwise it's really hard to do and dangerous. And let's see, what else didn't I show you? Oh, the stack. This goes up and out. My husband made a piece of the ceiling, the roof that goes right here, and it slides out. So once we are done here and we have all our plants in there, we'll just slide that piece back on. And the roof has gotten quite a bit of smoke damage. See there, this year. This is the first year we've done it in here. This is actually Mike redid our greenhouse this year. So we'll have to wash that and get that all cleaned up. But he took some rebar and made kind of a guide so the stack can't fall over. We learned the lesson the hard way, and I almost burned down the last sugar shack we had. I burned the entire top beam because it started on fire. I didn't realize the stack was touching it. But, you know, live and learn. So this is our setup. It is fairly basic and really, it is hot in here. But it is, oops, sorry, the door just slammed shut. It's really quite a simple setup, and it's not as labor intensive. The first year we did this, we did it over a fire, like a campfire, and oh my gosh, it just took so long, and you literally had to sit out there forever. And this, we don't have to sit out here. We can, check it often, but we don't have to be babying it all the time, which is just wonderful. And let's see. Oh, inside here, I'm not going to open this because this might just like ruin my phone. It is so hot in there. But there is fire brick and a grate also that the wood sits on. Right now we are actually burning old lumber scraps, some pine lumber scraps. You don't want to burn anything like OSB or anything that would have glue in it, but this is just pine lumber scraps, untreated. Mike got a whole bunch of them from work, and they burn very hot, so it works wonderfully. And that's that, and I will show you here in a little bit. We had a little spillage over here, if you're wondering what that is. It's a little bit, actually, I wonder if Mike that might be where he puts the foam when he's skimming it off. That's not what I do, but So I will show you here in a little bit when I take the pot in how I finish it off. When the temperature outside is about 215 degrees, I strain the sap and then I bring it inside to finish off. That way I have a little more control over it. And I keep an eye on it and let it boil, stirring occasionally, and then I check the temperature, and when it's at 219 degrees, that's technically syrup. But depending on your altitude, sometimes you have to go a little bit more than 219 degrees, and that's where a hydrometer comes in very handy. This is the hydrometer, and it's actually, the syrup is in a vase, a flower vase, like a skinny, tall one. That's what we found that worked great. Once it reaches that red line, then you know you have syrup. I honestly am embarrassed that I forgot to do footage of using the hydrometer, but YouTube it. There's really good videos out there. Once it has reached the temperature and it is officially syrup, then all I do is strain it one more time through cheesecloth, or actually a tea towel, to get anything else that might be in there, and bottle it, and that is it. That's how easy it is, and it's done, and we have syrup. Thank you so much for stopping by the homestead today. If you haven't already, please hit that red subscribe button, and I will see you later. Bye.